Former U.S. Senator Reid wants to clarify some bad information that was being dispensed by the Pentagon about a secret study of UFOs. It was authorized by Reid and other lawmakers more than a decade ago.
The UFO study was kept quiet until about 2 years ago, and since then, a lot of misinformation has surfaced about the purpose of the study and who worked for it. Senator Reid sat down with the I-Team's George Knapp for an exclusive interview.
Lost all my hair.
It'll come back?
Oh yeah, it'll come back once I get rid of the cancer.
Reid knows that his so far successful battle against pancreatic cancer likely comes as a disappointment to his enemies, some of whom have long wished for his death, political or otherwise. Nearly 2 years after the New York Times blew open a story about a Reid-sponsored secret study of UFOs and related mysteries, the former Senate Majority Leader is encouraged by continued coverage in mainstream media and heightened public interest. If UFOs are to be part of his political legacy, so be it.
I think, I'll be remembered for other things, but hey, listen. If I am known as somebody that kind of got the ball rolling here, I'll take it.
The ball started rolling in 2007. Reid and fellow Senators Daniel Inouye and Ted Stevens authorized a black budget study of UFOs. The acronym for the program was AWSAP. In 2008, a contract was awarded to Bass, an offshoot of Bigelow Aerospace. $22 million was spent over 3 years. Since the New York Times story broke, Pentagon spokespersons have provided multiple conflicting statements about both AWSAP and its successor, a smaller effort known as ATIP. In some statements, the Pentagon has denied the programs had anything to do with unidentified flying objects. Reid says the UFO mystery was always the primary focus, starting with the very first meeting he had with a scientist from the Defense Intelligence Agency.
But he said, I don't understand what we're seeing around the world with all these unidentified flying objects, and I want to be able to have intelligent conversation in this regard. And George, as you know, I became terribly interested in this. And rather than think about it, I said, well, I'm going to do something about it.
Reid says there is no mention of space aliens or flying saucers in the program names or documents, nor did they use the term UFO, in part because those words and names carry so much baggage. The senator says no one can say for sure where these mystery craft originate, which is why he initiated a study in the first place. In 2009, Reid tried to get the Pentagon to turn ATIP into a special access program, a more classified operation, in part because he wanted to connect with other secret programs that may or may not have hard evidence of UFOs, including materials or technology recovered from crash sites.
One reason I did that is there's always this rumor, some people say that there are some public corporations that have materials that we should look at. Now, I wanted to make sure that that was valid or not valid. But I couldn't get, Defense Department wouldn't approve it.
Reid adds he was encouraged earlier this year when the U.S. Navy announced it plans to make it easier for its pilots to report UFO encounters. And he's glad his former colleagues in Congress have received closed-door briefings from military officials about UFO encounters. But,
well, let them say something about it. I'm tired of all this. They're getting briefings and all that. Let them step up to the plate like I did and do something publicly.
George Knapp, 8 News Now.
And wouldn't that be interesting? Well, Senator Reid says he continues to receive occasional briefings about UFO investigations.
Among his recent visitors, Bill and Hillary Clinton, former Pentagon intelligence officers Lou Elizondo,